Hi folks, rainy day here today. Leaves are falling, you can see raindrops on the window, colors are changing. So I thought that I would do the kind of video that I enjoy watching on other people's channels. We're going to take a look at my fall and Halloween coloring book collection, and also books that have fall or Halloween themed pages in them, but maybe not necessarily the whole book. This will be a long video and probably kind of chatty, so grab yourself a cup of something warm or cool if it's still hot where you are, and maybe a snack, and we'll get started. Let's go. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Color and Chemist. My name is Connie. And as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be looking at my fall, autumn, Halloween themed books and books that I have that have pages within them that have those themes. So the first book, or the first set of books that I thought we'd take a look at, is by an illustrator, and please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Petra. I don't know if you'll see this, and please forgive me anyone else who knows how to pronounce her name. She's from the Czech Republic, and I believe her name is pronounced Petra Gescheidtová. And I do apologize if that's incorrect. She's got 3 coloring books. She also has a box of greeting cards to color, and a box of her images. I believe there's 20 images. There's 10 greeting cards and 20 images that are on really good quality watercolor paper, so you can watercolor, and we'll take a look at those. So I'm not doing full flip-throughs of any of the books today. If anyone would like a full flip-through of any book, please just let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like what you're seeing, please consider pressing like, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, hitting the notification bell so you get notification as to when I'm putting up a new video. All of it just helps my channel to grow. So the first image that I found of hers that I thought was fall themed was this one. So we've got some mushrooms. Those look like chanterelles to me. These look like, I always used to call them Chinese lanterns. And you know what, I'm trying to think of the actual plant name and I can't. But they always sort of reminded me of fall. We've got some berries there. And one of the really wonderful things about her books is this. And she doesn't do it for every page, just some. But occasionally she will give you the image, the line image to color. But she'll also give you a full color image that she's already colored. And I could just stare at these all day. They're so amazing. I mean, look at that. And you'll notice I have not colored this. I think it's fear that I'm just not going to do it justice. I know Karen, ZucchiniKitty, has colored in some of Petra's books, and she does an amazing job. So maybe someday, I think I've mentioned before, I'm starting out with coloring, I'm starting out with art, I'm a math science person, and I just don't trust my skill level yet, so I'm scared. But looking at the colored artwork that Petra has done is just amazing. So those are 2 fall images in that book. And that book was called, oh my goodness, Sedmikvitek. And I know I probably pronounced that incorrectly. That, I believe, was the first book that she put out. She then put out this one. Look at the cover art. Isn't that beautiful? It's just beautiful. I apologize for the lighting. It is washing things out a bit. It's cloudy here today, so I'm struggling a bit with natural lighting, but hopefully we'll do our best. I don't know that this one is necessarily a fall image, but the colors that she's done her artwork here certainly gave me a fall kind of vibe. And then we've got some flowers and florals on the other page here. That one I think is definitely fall. We've got some gourds, squash, maybe pumpkins, got some hazelnuts in there, oak leaves. All of that kind of reminds me of fall. And, you know, while I was looking through my books and looking for these fall pages, I got to thinking, I think fall images probably mean something different. Well, obviously, you know, if you're on the other side of the world, fall in, say, Australia or New Zealand is a totally different season than what we're getting here in, you know, sort of central Canada. But even, you know, within the United States, I know lots of places are still super hot right now. We're looking at temperatures here in, I think today the high is about 15 Celsius or 17 Celsius here in central Canada. Oh my goodness, Fahrenheit. I think that's in the 60s somewhere. So we're cooling off. And you'll notice the the little video clip I had at the beginning of the video, leaves are turning. So yeah, we're still not at the end of September. So it definitely, it looks like fall here. I also think of sort of garden produce sort of being gathered in as a fall time thing, because that's, I would do that in late August, early September here. But other places, your gardens are still probably going strong. We've already had a hard frost, so our gardens are sort of done. But yeah, so maybe what are fall images to me might not be fall images to somebody else, and that's okay. I think we all have our own experiences, and that's a wonderful thing. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's gorgeous. Got mushrooms, leaves, berries, hazelnuts. I thought that was a fall image too. She's got a puppy there. And then we've got some, these remind me of we always called them helicopters. They're seed pods from maple trees, and they sort of flutter to the ground. They'll spin when they flutter to the ground. They look like helicopters, so yeah. So that was fall images in that one. This is her newest book. And you'll notice, I'll just bring the other one back here. It's a different size. So it's a little bit shorter and wider. So it's a little bit different size than her previous books. And the illustrations, I think she's got some darker black line work, and that's a little bit different too. And I think that's neat. So this one, for example, she's got a little bit more ink. That's what I think of it in her illustrations, and it's neat. I love to see artists sort of changing and evolving like that. I apologize for the lighting. Like I say, I'm struggling today. It's cloudy, so my camera's... And then you get white pages and not white pages, so the camera focuses. I need to probably learn how to use my camera a little bit better, too. So there's that one. Boxes, mushrooms, oak leaves. Look at that. And her paper is very smooth, and the images where she's done coloring, you can see it's glossy. So apologize if there's a glare there. The best way to get rid of that glare. Maybe I can't. Tip it up a bit just to show you the picture without glare. I don't know if I can. There. Now, this has pansies on there, which I typically think of as a spring flower. But I know in lots of places, pansies are also a fall flower because, of course, they bloom when it's cooler out. Here, by the time it sort of gets cool enough for them to be blooming, we've already had a frost. Now, pansies are fairly frost hardy, but again, yeah, I always think of it as a spring flower. But I would think the color palette that Petra has chosen for that page, for her colored page, definitely, says to me fall. So that's why I chose that one as a fall image. That one. You've got a pumpkin, you've got apples and pears. To me, those are kind of fall things. Hamsters, gerbils, they're awfully cute. And a bunny. And then mushrooms. Mushrooms could be a spring page too. Here in Canada, central Canada, we get morels and what have you in the spring. But other kinds of mushrooms you get in the fall. So again, could be a spring page, could be a fall page. This is her box of greeting cards. So it's floral greeting cards. There are 10 cards and 11 envelopes. I think she gives you an extra envelope. And I will just open this up. The only one I think in here that's fall themed, tuck that underneath there, and this is how they come, is this one. And you've got pine cones on there. These are images that you will find in her books as well. So I don't think there's new images in here. And then it's just blank on the inside. Some of the cards will have images that wrap around to the back. This one. Now this isn't fall themed. Oh, I guess it could be. It's got some berries on there. But you notice the image wraps around to the back. I believe all of them are blank inside. She's also got some in here that have pre-colored areas. So that's kind of neat. I suppose that one could be fall themed too. It's got some berries on there. But she's got a purple circle there. Oh, it doesn't wrap around the back. Gain blanket side. I will show you ISBNs numbers for any products or any books that I can. Probably not so much for, sorry, a little bit of noise there closing the box. There we go. Probably not so much for, you know, Amazon printed books, because those are fairly easy to find. But maybe for any Japanese books or any books that are maybe a little bit more difficult to find. I can't show you ISBN numbers for Petra's books because they don't have ISBN numbers. In order to order things from her, you can go to her Paparia store, and I will try and remember to put the link to the store in the description, video description. It is, you'll have to use Google Translate, but I found it was fairly easy to order things, and they came really well packaged, well wrapped. So yeah, it seemed like it might be a scary experience, but it definitely wasn't. You can also contact her on Instagram, and you can get her books that way as well. So this is the floral watercolor sheets, 20 pieces. And sorry for the, isn't it a pretty box though? The other box is pretty too. And then it just opens up, and then we've got watercolor images. So this is thick. I'm pretty sure this is, if you can hear that, I'm pretty sure this is 300 GSM watercolor paper. It feels like it's probably cold press. I think the cold press is the one that's got a little bit more texture to it. And I'm assuming it's got sizing on there. This is the same image we saw on the greeting card, sort of that fall autumn wreath. And then we've got some fruits here. Again, grapes could be fall, could not be. I think of grapes as being a fall thing here, but maybe not where you are. Thinking I have more than one image, but I don't. There's a mushroom image. Now, I'm looking at these. I don't remember these images in the book, so maybe these ones are new. Some, anyway, because I don't remember this mushroom image. There was a mushroom image in the book, but I don't remember it being this one. That one I remember, the oak leaves. I think that's it. Well, for fall images anyway. Again, a little bit of noise here while I close up the box. The next set of books is, I think I'll go through my books that are all autumn or Halloween. So this is one that I recently did a flip through of. This is Jen Katz, and you can get these from her Etsy store. Again, I don't think this has an ISBN. Nope. So I will try and remember to link Jen's store down below as well. She sells PDF images. She also sells some bound books, some pre-printed bound books. So this is Autumn is My Favorite Color. I have started a page there. And so, yeah, this whole book is just, like I say, I've done a flip through before. All autumn images. Wonderful, wonderful illustrator. Very whimsical. This, of course, we're all used to seeing. This is Rita Berman's Fall Walk, Autumn Walk book. And just wonderful autumn images. And I love the colored image in the front here. It's very watercolory kind of style. Beautiful. Then, of course, we have, and I'm not doing a flip of these ones because, you know, there's no point in showing you actual pages because they're all autumn and Halloween pages. So we've got Matchstick Mouse, we've got an autumn coloring book, and a Halloween coloring book. I apologize for the glare. Lights. Again, lighting on these fall days. So everyone is probably familiar with Matchstick Mouse. I'll take a little bit more time when we're going through books where we're talking individual pages. So we've got Teresa Goodrich, Autumn Charm. We've also got, oh, should have the other Teresa Goodrich Autumn books here. Autumn Harvest, that's her new one that just came out. Autumn Scenes, that's an older one. So I think those are her only 3 autumn books. This is a Creative Haven book by Angela Porter. And when I was looking through, you know, when you're looking on Amazon, you're just kind of seeing cover images. It didn't occur to me that this was a fall or Halloween or autumn themed book, even though it's called Eerie Entangled Art. It was sort of the pumpkins that caught my eye. And so when I started flipping through it, yeah, it's got, I would say not exclusively, I mean, it could be just eerie in general. I think of eerie and sort of Halloween going hand in hand, but I guess they wouldn't have to be. But there's all kinds of images in here. There's skeletons underwater. And again, if anyone wants a flip through, you know, full flip through of any of these books, just let me know. It's very Zen doodly, tiny details, which I think I've mentioned previously. I love tiny details. But I mean, these are moths. I think there is a type of moth that has coloring where it almost looks like a skull on its, oh my goodness, what's that part of the moth called? Is that the thorax? I should know this. I'm a science person. I'm chemistry though, I'm not biology. And I think it's called a death's head moth. I could be wrong. But again, you know, this wouldn't necessarily have to be a Halloween page, but it could be. Pumpkins, right? I think that's pretty Halloween. You've got bats, stars, ghosts, skulls, pumpkins. So, yeah, there's that one. Creative Haven is part of the Dover Publishing Company. And I was digging through my books and I found this one. Now, I purchased this, I'm pretty sure it was for my daughter when she was little. Dover makes, or they used to, I don't know if they still do, these stained glass coloring books. And this is Kathy Balon. I think that's how you would say it. The paper, it's like glassine. That's what it feels like. So it's very, very smooth, but you can see it's see-through, right? I can see the images underneath. So you would color this, and probably your best bet is to actually just, you know, tear it out. And then it looks like stained glass. So this is very, you know, I think it's definitely, you know, meant for children, although it doesn't mean we can't, as adults, can't color it. But yeah, my daughter had started some coloring here in the back. So yeah, it just kind of, there was another one she had started. Oh, and I think she started that one too. But I had totally forgotten I had this book, so I thought, well, that's kind of a neat one to pull out. Don't think I have any other. Oh, yes, I do. I have one more Creative Haven book, and it's George Tufexis. So, Autumn Inspirations. This is colored by number. He's got great colored by number books. I think I will next pull maybe some other color by numbers that I have. So here we've got Autumn Mandalas, color by number, such and such diva. I think I mentioned before, sometimes because I don't have a lot of confidence in my coloring skills, it is stressful for me sometimes to color images where I have to worry about shading and, you know, blending and all those kinds of things. And it shouldn't be. I know I shouldn't put that stress on myself, but I do. So sometimes it's just easy, or yeah, maybe it's just easier to drift towards these color by numbers because I don't have to think about that, right? And so then it truly is relaxing for me. I think this is new-ish, maybe? Oh no, 2022. Okay. Newish to me, I guess. I just purchased this not too long ago. And yeah, I tend to do these in gel pen. Right? Usually glitter gel pen. You can see it shine there. So there's that one. Such and Such Diva also has a Halloween mandala color by number. And I've done some in there. Now, this isn't color by number, although I think maybe you can get this in color by number. I could be wrong on that. This is Jade Summer Halloween Patterns. So these are all just sort of, you know, that kind of color by number pattern book where I feel like it's less stressful because I don't feel like I can mess it up. Put it that way. This is another one that I'm pretty sure I bought for my daughter when she was young, and I don't know that you can get this anymore. Chuck Abram is the artist, and it's all jack-o'-lanterns, and they're very kind of patterny. So it's intricate patterns. I don't know if you can see that there. Try and lift that up. So it's just intricate patterns on basically kind of the same. I think there's about 4 or 5 jack-o'-lantern sort of faces that keep repeating, and then the patterns are different. So just to give you an idea, you know, there's one. It's hard to see the pattern there. The paper is quite thin. There's another one. There. Yeah, maybe there's more than 4 or 5. But the faces, I think that's back to the first face maybe. The faces on them do sort of repeat, and it's just the pattern that keeps changing. So that's kind of a fun one. I also have these 2 books, and I don't believe I couldn't find an illustrator name anywhere, so it's possible that it just says Dilana Press. Maybe it's just a number of different illustrators. It could be images they pulled from Shutterstock. I'm not sure. It's definitely Amazon printed, so it's Create Space paper. So it's Adult Coloring Thanksgiving, and they're fairly thick books. And then Adult Coloring Halloween. So there's those 2. Sorry, trying to make sure I don't have a book avalanche here off to the side. These, oh, I'm going to flip that. That's really going to glare. These are, pull those aside for a second. These are images that I bought from an Etsy shop called AgotaPop. And I believe they're called Halloween Tinies. I'm going to flip that. That really glares. There we go. Maybe that's better. And there are 6 2-page. And she's got, yeah, just some, I printed them on, feels like probably mixed media cardstock, and then I just bound them in this little book. So these are what she calls Halloween Tinies, and then there were Autumn Tinies. I really should color some of these because as a school teacher, August, September, even into October can be kind of busy, and you know, I struggle to find time to work on a whole page, but you know, you just have a little image, it's going to be much quicker to color. So there is that one. I also have, oh, you know what? There was a Matchstick Mouse, the 2 that I looked at earlier. I forgot about this one. This is the newest, Pumpkin Party. So this one is very much Halloween and fall themed. I don't have the storybook. I'm thinking about getting it, but I'm not sure. I do have little great nieces and nephews that would probably really, really enjoy the book. I have 2 books that are Karen E. Myers. And again, I'm struggling with hopefully the glare won't be as bad when I start looking at books where I'm actually flipping pages. We've got The Mystical Lands of Clenadra and The Mystical Lands of Kelswitch. So In Search of Autumn Secrets on the left there, and Harvest Moon Wanderings on the right. Again, just very beautiful. And this is book 2 in the Kelswitch series. And I think this is book 1 in the Clenadra series. Just lots of really mystical, wonderful autumn Halloween themed images in there. And the last few that I have that are sort of specifically kind of all autumn or all Halloween, I've got a Very Mice coloring book, volume 2. So this is House Mouse Designs, Frolicsome Fall with the House Mouse family. And this is Ellen Jarnecki and Nicole Percy, I think it is. And the House Mouse was a series of stamps. And I don't know if you can still get them or not. Like I say, I've got some stamps, but I was never, into card making or scrapbooking, so I don't have a lot of them. But the house mouse stamps look adorable. And they've just sort of taken the stamps, I think, and created coloring pages. So there's that one. I have Nice Little Town Halloween. So this is Tatiana Bogima Stolova. And lots of wonderful images of fall, autumn, Halloween in there. And then I've got this one. This is Edwina McNamee. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And this is Autumn Dreamlings. So I believe there are 2 copies of the images in here. So the first copy is line work. And the second copy is the same line work, but with black backgrounds and then black on the reverse of the page too. So that's kind of neat. A lot of these books you'll notice are uncolored. I know it's shameful, really, is what it is, to have this many books and to not have colored pages in them. You know, part of the, and I think a lot of you maybe feel the same way. Part of the hobby is coloring, but part of it is collecting too. So that's, you know, makes me happy to have these books, to look through them, and I think that's an important part of the hobby. So now I'm going to take a look at some of, everybody's still okay? You're still with me? If you need to, you know, pause, take a break, go get a drink, get a snack, that's okay. I'm going to take a look at the books and postcard books now that I have where it's not exclusively fall or Halloween or autumn, but there are pages within those books. I know lots of Post-its here. Don't worry, I don't throw them away when I'm done. I reuse them, so I'll put them in a little pile and just use them for other marking. This is Waltzes for the Seasons. And I don't have, this is Kanoko Ogusa, if I remember correctly. And I believe I also have, yeah, I do, I think, the coloring book for this. But there was this small postcard book that I thought was interesting too. So here we've got some very Halloween image there. And then I could zoom in, but I don't want to bump the camera. There's definitely a Halloween image there too, a little ghost costume. Again, you know, maybe this one, maybe not everyone would consider it fall, but looks like she's gathering grapes maybe. I consider that fall here, but again, maybe not everyone. Fall images there. Acorns, squirrels. To me that says fall. Mushrooms. And these are postcards. You'll notice there's a, I don't know if you can see, there's a perforation. Some of them are full page cards, like this one. The ones we've been looking at are, there's 2, so you can see there's a bend there, so you can tear that out if you would like. This one is a full paged one. So that's got pumpkins. It says Halloween up there. There's another one, squirrel. I said I was going to show ISBNs, didn't I? Was there any ones that I should have? I think the ones that I showed, I think most of those were pretty easily found on Amazon. So if anyone is not having luck finding any of the ones that I was just showing, then let me know and I can try and find a link for you. And then there's a few at the back here where you've got 4 cards. Oops. 4 cards per page instead of just 1 or 2. And so there is yeah, I would think that one there I would call fall. It's got a little squirrel, maybe some chrysanthemums. So here is, here's the ISBN for that. And again, this is Waltzes for the Seasons. This is an Erie postcard book. Give me the ISBN for that. I believe I bought these, I think, off Etsy. but I know a lot of people now are purchasing from Amazon Japan, and that's fantastic. I've never done that. I'd like to try. So you could probably find them on there as well. In this postcard book, Erie has 2 of the same postcard on a page. So we've got, which is good because again, with my fear of making mistakes, at least that gives me 2 chances. So here we've got sort of a fall autumn one there. And I know I probably should be pulling the tags off, but I think it's okay. And this Halloween one actually pulled the second copy out, and I was hoping to color this one in October, so we'll see. I got that one. And I'm not much of a Disney fan, and I know, admitting that, hopefully, please don't hate me. It just had, you know, I liked it when I was young, but yeah. Mind you, I'm not, you know what? I don't know that I'm much of a movie and television watcher just in general, so maybe that's part of it too. But the one Disney character that I've always loved was Winnie the Pooh. And I just loved the drawings, I loved the illustrations, and I found this on Etsy. The ISBN there. Hopefully there's not too much glare. There you go. And I just thought that the illustrations in this postcard book were adorable. And you get 2 copies. So you get a colored copy and then an uncolored copy. So I thought that one was fall. I think there's a Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if it was a whole, I don't know if you call it a movie, but it was Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day. I remember reading the book to my daughter. So, and that was a fall kind of blustery day. There, of course, is Tigger jumping in the leaves. Very sweet. There's Pooh and Piglet. I think that's a scene from the Blustery Day. I could be wrong, but I think it is. And I think those are my only postcard books. Well, I do have some Joanna Basford postcard books. I think I have the postcard book for maybe Rita Berman's Europe. I'm trying to think. Are there other postcards? Oh, you know what? I lied. I do have another postcard book, but it's kind of buried in the stack, so we'll get to it. I have an image that I've got printed off here, and this was a freebie from Kanoko Agusa. So I just thought this looked very autumny to me. Sort of a kitchen scene. You've got lots of, could be summer as well, but you know, you've got ivy, you've got berries. Yeah, just to me had an autumn vibe to it. This is Joanna Basford's one and only that I know of Halloween page. This is a freebie, and I did a short video on this just a few days ago, I think, just sharing a link, because it's the link that I shared is from her website, so it's not been pirated or anything. It's not, you know, other people sharing it illegally, but it's a little difficult to find, and maybe if I remember, I'll try and share it below in this video as well, because she doesn't have really any. I think in an interview once she stated that Halloween isn't her favorite time, so she probably wouldn't put out, you know, an exclusively fall or Halloween book. So yeah, that's a fun image. I think this was a promotional image for Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. That's the bottom here. I don't think it occurs in the book, but I think it was just kind of something she put out as a freebie just to promote the book. This is an image by an illustrator named Nina, and I think it's Stajner. She also designs textiles for nurseries and things like that. She had a coloring book ages ago, and I've not been able to find it. And the only thing I could find online was this image, and then I think maybe this was from her Etsy store, maybe? Sorry, there's a lot of glare there. And it's tiny sort of thumbnails of some of the images that were in her coloring book. And her Etsy store is on a break right now. I believe she just had a little one not too long ago. And oh my goodness, if she ever decides to reprint this coloring book, I will be, what do the youngsters say? Take my money? Shut up and take my money? It's kind of rude, but I would be first in line because I think these images are just adorable. So yeah, there's that one as well. I have this Color It book. I don't think they print this anymore. And truth be told, it's not really my thing. So I might be looking at destashing this book. So if anyone is interested in, you know, purchasing this off of me, you know, let me know in the comments below. Maybe we can figure something out. I am in Canada, so shipping to places is kind of awkward. But this is Color It Colorful Quilts. You know, typical Color It book, very well made. The cover is, you know, chipboard. It's hard. The pages are that really great thick smooth paper. And we've got a few autumn images in here. So I love quilts. We've got some pumpkins, autumn leaves there. Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to keep flipping. Another kind of Halloween quilt page. And I apologize if I'm going too fast or too slow. Like I say, this is not going to be a short video, but I'm trying not to make it too long. On YouTube, you can always adjust the speed, right, when you're watching. So if something is going too slowly, you can speed it up. If something is going too quickly, you can slow it down. You can also pause the video if you want to get a better look at any particular page. This one looks more kind of Thanksgiving themed. You've got the turkey and the pumpkin. But yeah, I thought this was a neat book, a cute book. These are older books that I bought quite a while ago when I first started coloring. I don't color in them so much anymore. And this one I actually, oops, I had cut out the color, because this is color by number. So there's your color palette, and I cut it out and then accidentally tore it as well. So that's my bad. But here we've got images, and it just sort of goes through the seasons. So this is Colors of the Seasons, color by number. I don't see an illustrator. There might have been one on the part that I tore off, so I apologize. And it just goes through, that's where the fall ones start. It's got scripture on each page. Again, just color by number. That's still autumn. Autumn there. And yep, and then that's winter. So there's that one. This is color by number. Again, like I say, when I'm truly stressed, this is what it says, stress-free coloring. When I don't want to think about shading or, you know, shadowing, highlights, that sort of thing, I'll tend to go back to these. A few autumn themed ones in there. So autumn is my favorite season. I have colored, I think, all the autumn ones in here. So this one is neat. It's color by number, and it gives you a suggested color palette down here at the bottom. You wouldn't have to follow that. This one only has 6 colors. You know, they tend to keep the color palettes fairly simple in this one. But it's not got a consistent color palette for the whole book. So, you know, those are the 6 colors it suggests for this page. The other autumn page, no, not quite the same. If I can, I don't know if I can do that. No, not really. But slightly different color palette for that autumn page. And at the back of the book, it gives you the answers. So here you can see, yeah, it's just got usually 6 colors per page, but they're different for each page. See that there. If I hold it up a little closer. Different color palettes for each page. Yeah. Some other ones, I mean, this could certainly be autumn themed as well. Maybe that's kind of autumn color palettes. So that was their version of the one that I had colored. I think I colored mine kind of brighter than theirs. But yeah, again, just a color by number. I think this company does a lot, this Brain Games company does a lot of these kinds of books. So, and I could show you the ISBN, but I think they're pretty easy to find. Ooh, sorry. On, is it focusing? There you go. Pretty easy to find on Amazon. Oh, and I could, well, I can't show you the ISBN on the one with the scripture in it because that's the one where I accidentally tore the cover off the back. But I can show you this Color It ISBN. Like I say, I don't think they're making this one anymore. So there's that one. You could certainly take a look. I'm going to do some of my smaller books here just because then I can get them off the top of the pile and they hopefully won't topple everything. This is one of these Colorful World books by Top, so German, and this is Ursula Schwab. It's basically, oh, and my German pronunciation is not going to be good, and I'm actually half German. My father emigrated from Germany when he was a teenager, so, but he didn't teach us German. Meine Jahr, is that how you would say it? Hopefully that's close. So this, it's basically a planner. It's a day planner. And it's not specific to any year. You'll notice that there's no, actual number dates on here. But it's got, this is the start of September. And then for every week, there's a different illustration. I thought that was kind of neat. So this just goes through September. And again, everything in here is in German. September. Fall fair. Although here we have a fall fair that's local, but it's in August because Central Canada, that's when we're you're cutting hay, you're bringing it in, you're sort of harvesting your vegetables. And then October. Yeah, here she's got mushrooms and gourds and things being harvested in October. By then we could have snow here. By the way, I'll try and get a video, maybe the first day it snows. I'll see if I can get a video out my window here, my view. Puppy dogs and kites. And this must be the last, yeah, the last day of October, so she's got kind of a Halloween image there. Just, I thought it was a very cute book. And then she's got a year planner. So, I mean, you could certainly use this as a planner. She's got, oh, I don't know what that translates to, but she's got space for each month here where you can write notes. That, I'm pretty sure, translates to notes. Notizen? No, I'm not even going to try. Yeah, so that's Ursula Schwab. This is the Furballs, I think it translates to, coloring book by Diane Dufour. Adorable, adorable images in here. And it goes by season, if I'm not mistaken. So the fall season is first, and every time the season changes, there's a page with sort of this diamond kind of image, and then, or a diamond framed image, and then, a sort of seasonal kind of image inside. So this beginning part here, this is all fall. Lots of animals, of course, it's furballs. Very sweet. There's a Halloween one there. I used to have a plastic one of those when I was a little kid. I don't know, maybe some of you did as well, to go trick-or-treating, to put your treats in. We didn't have like a big pillowcase, we just had this little plastic pumpkin. More fall images. just so cute. They're so sweet. Sorry, my hand's probably blocking some of them. Fall. I think we're almost to the end here. I love her cats. I just love the, I don't know, the shape of the face and the eyes. They're very cute. I think that's the last fall image. Yeah, so then you get this diamond kind of frame. And then this is now a winter themed image. So going on, you know, for the next quarter of the book, then you'd have your winter images. This is Layla Dooley's The Flower Year. Beautiful book. It's hardcover. And it's got this ribbon marker. And it just goes through different sort of flowers. So she's got by month. So we've got, you know, starting with January. So I just marked off September here. And then she'll go through, you know, September florals, October florals. So I think these are horse chestnuts, I think. And then we've got berries, kind of other fall leaves there. Beautiful. They're just beautiful illustrations. And again, I know you're looking at these, you're thinking, oh my goodness, Connie, why have you not colored in these books? Partly time, partly fear. Don't want to mess them up. Got a Christina Rossetti quote there. Grab my glasses to read it. O rose, thou flower of flowers, thou fragrant wonder. And then she goes into October. Just beautiful. Imagine it would be, I mean, this is stitch bound, and I could maybe open this up a little bit more, but it might be difficult to get right in the spine there. Ralph Waldo Emerson, around me stood the oaks and firs, pine cones and acorns lay on the ground. And then crabapple, dog rose hips, that's there. November, season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, John Keats. By November here, we have snow. So we have a short fall season, which is unfortunate. I love fall. I wish it was longer. Mind you, it starts early. You know, this year, even by the beginning of September here, we had some changing colors. So it was kind of early this year. I love the shapes of some plants in the fall time. Once the leaves are gone, you really get to see the shapes of some of the grasses, and I find that, you know, it's definitely less colorful, you know, once the leaves are truly gone. But the outline of some of the plants, you know, against snow, for example, is beautiful, I find. Thistles, teasels, I've heard them called. And then, yeah, Virginia Creeper, we have that. And then December. See, December, she's still got florals. That would not be here. She might have some snow pictures in here, too. We don't have holly here. It's too cold. We have a lot of fir, a lot of pine. We do have some, well, you saw in my window, we have some deciduous trees, but they are a lot of poplar, birch. I'm in growing, what's my, what do they call them? No, it's seasons. Zones. So in North America, we have zones, which are related to your average minimums, maximums, the absolute maximums, the absolute minimum temperature. And I think I'm zone 3, 3A, 3B, 2B. It gets pretty cold here, so we don't have a lot of those beautiful plants like holly, they would just die. Rita Berman, this is her Walk Through the Land, I think it's called. I'm sorry if that's incorrect. But I think she's definitely got some fall-themed images here. Got kind of a hedgehog with some berries and things. That struck me as fall-themed. That strikes me as a fall-themed wreath, but I mean, maybe not. To other people, it might not be. It's got some roses in there, but it also has some oak leaves, some mushrooms. I thought that was fall-themed. She's got little acorn houses. Very sweet. Squirrels. My window in front of me, there's a squirrel running around my front yard. I can see it right now. It's collecting up all those little helicopter seeds from the maples in front. To me, blackberries are a fall kind of fruit. We don't have many of them here. We have some, but they're not ready until fall. And I thought those were fall images as well. So that's Rita Berman's Walk Through the Land, I think it is. This is her compilation book. So I showed you earlier her fall walk. This has got some pages from each of her season walks. So then fall starts kind of, I would say about halfway through. And then she's just got, you know, some, not all, but some of the fall pictures in here. I've colored this one in her fall walk book. I'd like to color this one next, either in this book or in the other fall book. Just apples, rain. Her fall book, I think I mentioned before in the video when I was looking at my completed fall pages, her fall book to me feels the most Zen doodly of her season books. Just to me it does. You know, she definitely has Zen doodly kind of images in her other books as well. But the fall one, maybe it was the first one she did, I don't know. But it feels the most Zen doodly to me. I'd like to do that one too, but I'm afraid of messing it up. That's the one that's on the cover of her fall book. Yeah, I still want to mess it up. Blowing fall leaves. It's kind of windy here today. There's about to be a truck go by. Hopefully you can't hear it. Blowing fall leaves today, so reminds me of outside. Pumpkins. Zen doodly pumpkins. That to me is looking like, you know, sort of the end of fall. You've got not very many leaves on the trees anymore. Rain. Well, it's raining today. We do tend to get sunny fall days here, and that's when the colors really just glow on the trees, the leaves. Again, leaves coming off the trees. I guess I wouldn't have to flip all these. You guys have seen these. And then I love how she has pages where, and she has them at the beginnings and ends of her season books. And she's included some of them in here where it's like we're bridging seasons. So this wreath, while I think it's definitely a fall wreath, you know, if you've got a maple leaf here, you've got berries, pine cones, oak leaf, you've also got snowflakes. So it's like a bridging page, right? Where it's fall, but it's a little bit winter too. And then she goes into winter. So I thought I like how she does that. That's neat. I think her Europe book has some fall themed pages in it. I think that she's got, I think this is London. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Forgive me. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But I think this is fall. I see some leaves here. I mean, it could be summer too. So it says London here. So I'm not sure if maybe the page before wasn't London. But I think this one definitely sort of has a fall kind of rainy, leafy feel. She's got leaves falling here. I have not colored in this book. Isn't that terrible of me? Some fall pictures there. Shel's coloring journey. I think she just recently did this and she did a color along. It's beautiful. It's amazingly beautiful. I should maybe follow her color along and see if I can reproduce it. I think that's kind of fall too. I think fall there. I mean, maybe not. She's got leaves on the wind. To me, that says fall. And then she's got Scandinavia. And I thought this picture maybe was more summer. You know, you've got the campfire and what have you. But to me, this one said fall. Any kind of forest scene seems... And the card is in here because I marked this. I would like to color this one this fall. Forest scenes to me, you know, unless it's overtly kind of a spring scene where you've got, you know, maybe lily of the valley or something like that growing snowdrops. The forest scenes to me just say fall. You know, you've got some branches up here that don't have very many leaves. Mind you, you've got flowers down here, so I guess this could be summer too. And then I thought this double page spread was kind of fall. So there's lots of fall options, even if you don't have fall, you know, specific fall themed books. This is a recent one. I know lots of people have gotten this one recently. This is Claire-Therese Gray, and it's woodland watercolor. It's a coloring workbook, and it's printed on watercolor paper. Well, the coloring parts. The pages at the beginning where she talks about some, you know, how-to kind of stuff. This isn't watercolor paper, but these pages are. I thought that was a beautiful fall page. Some fall elements to color there. A fall wreath. And this, it lies so beautifully flat. Look at that. It's stitch bound, so that helps. And then I thought that was a pretty fall page. The animals. Got some holly in there too. I mean, I guess this could be, it could be winter. Mushrooms. To me, that one looked like fall. Again, you've got holly. It looks like holly leaves and berries. So, I mean, that could certainly be winter in... you know, say the UK or warmer places, but to me, call those pheasants. We also call them partridges here in Canada. Deer. To me, that says fall. So I thought there were some pretty fall pages in there. And look at the color. To me, I love that color palette. And on the front too. I love that color palette. That muted earth tone. I love that. This Tiny Worlds book by Matt Edwards, I thought had, I think there was just one in here. Nope, two. Harvest House for a Mouse. I thought that was fall. So you've got sort of your grasses around here and harvest, right? Harvest time. I just recently got this book just for the details. Like I mentioned before, I really enjoy coloring tiny things, small details. So I thought this would be an interesting book to have. And then you've got Pumpkin House Dinner Party with flowers and stuff. I guess it wouldn't have to be fall time, but they do live in a pumpkin. So that's why I thought I would include that one. Oh, I haven't been showing ISBNs. Not sure. I think the Rita Berman books are pretty easy to find. These, you know, most of these just came from Amazon. That Woodland Watercolor book, the same thing. These, I think I will show the ISBN. So these are, I think this is Kanoko Ogusa, right? But these are the Japanese versions. I purchased these before the English versions were available. So if they look different to yours, if you have the English versions, that would be why. So this is Minuet de Bonheur. I can show you. Oop, there you go. I think, I'm trying to remember where I got these. I don't think this was Etsy. Possibly Amazon, maybe a third-party seller on Amazon. But I think there are definitely some fall images here. Maybe not so much this one, but to me this one kind of said fall. You've got your acorns and oak leaves. This one is Halloween. Well, it wouldn't have to be, but I mean, you've got pumpkins, you've got cats dressed up as witches on brooms, little mouse. This one to me was definitely fall. Foxes and raccoon, and just sort of fall foliage there. You know what? I said before, and I think I was wrong. So we had this postcard book, right? Waltzes for the Seasons. I thought there was a matching coloring book, but I don't think there is. Because this was Minuet de Bonheur, this is Rhapsody in the Forest, Waltzes for the Seasons. Yeah, so this is different images. So yeah, if anyone was interested in this, I don't think the images are repeated in the other books. So this is Rhapsody in the Forest. Again, this is the Japanese version. I don't know if the ISBN is different than the English version. I'm not sure. This is a gorgeous double-page spread. And again, the paper might be different too. Again, I'm not sure. I don't have the English versions of these, or the sort of American UK versions. Mushrooms, acorns, hedgehog. I wish we had hedgehogs here. We don't. Not that I know of, anyway. Not where I live. Maybe in southern Canada, where it's warmer. Maybe BC, southern Ontario. Not here. Halloween image there, both sides. These books are intimidating. A lot of these Japanese books are intimidating to me. I don't want to mess them up. But I do love looking at the artwork, even uncolored. So here we've got sort of fall harvest kind of scene. More fall images, oak leaves and acorns on that clock. Leaves here with our raccoons. Double page there. There was a mama deer and 2 fawns in my front yard probably about a month ago. I have a crabapple tree in the front yard and it was starting to drop apples. They're not good. Some crab apples are tasty and they make wonderful jelly. The ones in my front yard are not. So I just let them fall and whatever wildlife wants them. So the mama and the 2 babies, that you could still just, because the babies will lose their spots as they age. The spots were just barely there and they were eating up the crab apples. It was very cute. I thought this wreath looked very fallish. Apples and things on there. Could also be winter or Christmas. You know, it looks like it has some, maybe some evergreens in the back. I have a fall wreath that I got from LL Bean years and years ago. And it's I don't even think they sell wreaths anymore. And it's sort of dried foliage and there's some dried orange slices on there and what have you. So it's not, you know, traditionally red-green, but it's still a Christmas wreath. So, I mean, that could be kind of the same thing. And then I thought that one with the squirrels was fall. The acorns. Talk about wallpaper pages. This is wallpaper, I think. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah. So there's that one. And then I have Ken Matsuda's book. So this one here. And this one I'm pretty sure I did get off Etsy. There's an ISBN for that one. I thought I would just sort of mark the back here. I haven't colored in this one either. And just because I could show you, so there are colored examples here at the back, and then you've got your QR code. I think you can get a bigger sort of example of each colored page. So I thought, that turtle one looked pretty fallish. And that squirrel one there with the bird, I thought that looked pretty fallish. And I'm not sure, like I say, I always call these Chinese lanterns. They're actually the seed pods of a plant. And they're very papery. They form like, it's almost like a little paper lantern. And then the seed is inside. And to me, they always said fall. So. Beautiful. Gorgeous illustrations in here. So intimidating. Karen, ZucchiniKitty, has done amazing things in here. This one I know I got off of Etsy. And you know what? I apologize. I don't know the illustrator. But it's fantasy season. So it's broken up into months of the year. I can show you. Oh, sorry. Here's the ISBN. So if we flip, this is where September starts. And you can tell because down in the bottom corner there, you see, it says September. So then there'll be a few images for, sorry, get straight here, for September. So a little harvest image there. Picking apples. Very cartoony, very cutesy. Sweet images. This book smells amazing. I don't know if it's the paper. It has a very, I don't know, it just smells amazing. It's almost like a sweet smell. I don't know, but it's I love flipping through this book for the images and for the smell. I know that's kind of weird. Sorry. Mushrooms there. And then this is, so that was still, I think that still said, yeah, it still said September. So now we've got October. So we've got Happy Halloween. Double page spread there. How cute is that? More Halloween. Trick or treat. Sorry, I keep having my hand on the book to hold it open, but then I cover the image, don't I? It says Jack-o'-lantern face variation. This is still October, making fluffy bread. I don't know what they mean by fluffy bread. Honey almond bread, raisin sugar bread, curry bread, animal bread. I don't know. Cooking maybe soup or stew there. This is November now, so autumn evenings. Reading a book. I think that says a sewing box. That's what that says. Still November. I don't know. It kind of looks like you're in the southwest of the United States where you've got cacti and what have you. Kind of culturally, maybe. I'm not sure. It almost feels appropriative a bit. Not all indigenous peoples had totem poles. I don't believe the ones in the southwest of the US did. I could be wrong. I know here in Canada, it was mostly the indigenous people in British Columbia that had totem poles. So. And this is still November. It's just got some stamps there. This is very much, I think, an autumn page. Pine cones, that sort of thing. And then you're into December. So. I had this marked, and I believe I had my bookmark there because I was thinking about coloring that garden scene. It's got some very much thicker paper at the back and little postcards you can cut out. I think that one's maybe kind of fall. You've got mice and mushrooms there. A map. So yeah, sweet book. Fantasy season. I have 3 of the books that are in this series. So I have the teddy bear book. So Townscapes, Animals, Variety Goods, Cakes, Flowers, Cooking, and 5 Bears. That's what that says. And then I've got the rabbit book. And then Ururi Mouse. And of course, Ururi Mouse is separated into seasons. So the autumn season starts there. And then we just go through. We've got... move those out of the way. Sorry, there's a frame there. So the autumn season starts here. And then it's just got this sort of lovely autumn pages. I was thinking about doing this one as an autumn coloring page. I always have lots of big plans for coloring in the autumn, and then teaching happens, and then the plans don't exactly work. But I can dream, right? These are such cute books. They're so sweet. Hay, bringing in the hay. We got our hay for, I don't know if I mentioned before, we have 2 horses. And we got our hay in for the winter, the beginning of September. So, I hear you, little mouse. It's hard work. Of course, we don't do it with pitchforks and like, that's, no. We don't do it that way. That would be hard work. Pumpkins. Oh my goodness, we're over an hour. I might have to do this in 2 parts, people. There you go, Halloween. Now that I look at my time, you know what? I think I am going to do this in 2 parts. So I'm going to leave off there. Wait, hold on. I said that I was going to leave off there. I forgot to look at the other 2 books that are in the kind of Ururi Mouse series. So I will insert this clip afterwards, hopefully in the editing. So here we've got the bear book. And I think there was only really one kind of autumn themed page that I found in here. So here we've got kind of a harvest, and it wouldn't have to be, it could be summer as well. But, you know, we've got pumpkins, carrots, you know, mushrooms kind of bringing the harvest in. So there was that page. And then the bunny book. And I think this one, again, is broken into seasons. Maybe, I could be wrong. But I thought this was sort of the start of, you know, we had some kind of a Halloween witch's broom here, maybe. Although that's candy cane. So maybe it's just holidays. Sorry, I should have translated that. I think this is definitely fall, kind of Halloween themed. Because we've got, you know, little witches here. We've got oak leaves and mushrooms, those kinds of things. This wouldn't have to be, but it does feel fall themed to me. You know, you've got your pumpkin, kind of carrots and things down here, grapes. These could be teacups. Got candy and then cookies. This sort of feels autumn themed to me. And then we've got, you know, ghost leaf cookies over here. This maybe not so much. I think this is just the 12, what do they call it? Star signs, I guess. You know, where you've got Gemini, Leo, those sorts of things. Which is Teapot Collection. Tea Salon. This just sort of struck me as like a little bunny witch or something like that. So, I mean, that could be fall or Halloween too. Got some mushrooms and carrots underneath there. And I think that's about it, because I think, yeah, we're kind of into Christmas here. So I apologize, I almost left these two off, but I will insert this little clip in the video. The second part might not be quite so long, but I don't want to have like a 2-hour video. I don't think anybody wants to watch that. So thanks for sticking with. Please join me for part 2, looking at these books. And I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is safe and that you're enjoying your coloring. Again, if you like what you see, please consider liking, subscribing, clicking on the notification bell, or leaving me a comment. All right. See you next time. Bye.